One of the hardest truths that I've had to admit is that fear didn't always stop me by closing a door. Sometimes it stopped me by convincing me not to even reach for the handle. Maybe you know that voice too. Keep your good job and retire from it and get your pension or 401k. Don't take too many chances and risk in a bad economy. Be grateful for what you have because there's so many people that have less. Stick with what's familiar because it's better to deal with the you know who you know than the one you don't. Some of those beliefs may have helped us survive in earlier seasons, but survival thinking can't lead every season of your life. I'm not letting fear and outdated thinking decide what I do with the years ahead. So today, I want to talk to you about how fear can disguise itself as wisdom over 50 and how we can move forward in faith before confidence arrives. Hey y'all, I'm Jay, and this is Reinventing Life After 50 with Jay. I had to start asking myself, where did these messages come from? Because when you hear something for so long, then you start believing that it's your voice, your opinion, your judgment. And I could see it in some of the ways that I sometimes handle new ideas. Before a new idea could breathe, I'm already thinking about what could go wrong or what part of it I'm not capable of or something about it doesn't feel right. And I call that being realistic. Sometimes, if I'm honest, it's just fear and doubt wearing the clothes of responsibility. It did not always sound frightened. Sometimes it even sounded sensible, responsible, and even protective. That's what made it so easy to believe. I had an employee and he wasn't that much younger than me. He was only a few years younger than me. And he really jumped off into the chat GPT craze. He was always on it. That was like around the time it first came out. He would ask it everything. He always telling us at work about what chat GPT said. And I would lightweight tease him about it. I would mess up the letters and everything. You always on chat GPT. Everything you talk about is about chat GPT. I would just say stuff like that because really it was just me rejecting it from the old thoughts of they created this to dumb us down. The chat GPT and AI is going to take over. We need to think for ourselves and they did this so that they can control us. They this is going to make you not be able to think for yourself, not be able to learn new things because all you're going to do is ask a question and get an answer. This is all about control. I said all of those things, all of it. And I know a lot of it came from old thinking. It came from old beliefs and things that were instilled in me growing up. But I had to really sit with myself, especially after my career ended after 25 years and I knew I did not want to go back to corporate America. And not just not wanting to go back to corporate America, but knowing that that was not my destiny. That was not all my life was supposed to amount to. That wasn't all that God created me to do. I knew I had a bigger calling and a bigger purpose. So I really had to sit with myself and sit with some old thoughts and old ideas and realize where they were coming from and what they were doing to hinder my growth going forward. Even what I do now, I use ChatGPT sometimes and it's almost like, friend, where have you been? If you know, you know. But it really helps me to understand you, to gather my thoughts and my ideas and things like that, to understand rules and regulations of YouTube and other platforms that I plan on using to continue to grow my business. It's a lot of things that has been very helpful for, but it took me to release some of those old thoughts and beliefs to be able to see the benefit and to see how I can use it to be a blessing, to walk in the path that God had already laid out for me. I almost let an old version of my thinking make permanent decisions about a future that I have never seen. Fear told me I was too old and too inexperienced to start a YouTube channel. But faith told me, start with what you have. So I did. And that's what I encourage you to do too. The camera wasn't really the most frightening part. The most frightening part was allowing people to see me try before I had any proof that it would work. See, when you've had to be a manager, a boss, a trainer, a coach for so many years, you had to have answers to people's questions. You had to have solutions to every problem. You had to be on when everybody else was off. You had to continue to make things happen and move when things was looking real stagnant. You had to be on all the time. So I think that kind of creates, and I know it created in me, a feeling of not wanting to be vulnerable, seeing me at my highest level, operating in my highest entity. You always want to be on, you always want to seem confident and ready with everything that you do. But I decided that I would rather be seen beginning than stay hidden and not ever know what God would have done with my faith and willingness. Starting this channel became about more than uploading a video. It became about my refusal to let old thinking keep writing new chapters in my life. I pressed record while I was still uncertain and trusted God with what happened next. I'm still uncertain. I'm still uncertain right now, but I continue to show up. I continue to take that step even though I can't see the full staircase. I continue to trust God even when I don't see the outcome or even see the fruits of my labor right now. But I'm going to still labor in faith. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. We don't have to always see every step to take one step. We don't have to know how it's going to end before we decide we're going to begin. Us over 50, we have lived enough life. We've had enough failures and accomplishments, enough highs and lows, enough experience to start from all of that wisdom and all of that knowledge and walk into the life that God had already laid out and ordained for us. Yes, sometimes we take different paths. Sometimes it may not be exactly, the life that was planned for us, but I do believe that everything is for a purpose. Sometimes we go through seasons and do things because it's preparing us for the season that we are to walk into, the one that we were ordained to live in. Maybe the step in front of you doesn't involve a camera, but whatever it is, you do not need to see the entire future before you begin. You only need enough faith to offer God your willingness and take the next step. Now, don't get me wrong, fear and uncertainty still may have something to say, but they do not get to make the decision. Sometimes the most faithful thing that we can do is stop treating the life that God put within us like it was meant for somebody else. God doesn't make mistakes. Our life has already been ordained and laid out for us. And like I said before, us over 50, we are about to make things happen. We are not starting from zero. We are not starting from we're too old, we're too unexperienced. This is for the young people. We are starting from wisdom. We are starting from experience. We are starting from all the things that we've overcome. And we can help somebody else. People that haven't even been through the things that we've experienced and been through, because we know experience is the best teacher. So let's just get ready to walk into our next, to walk into what God has already laid out for us, our abundance, our Goshen season. So let's go. And if this resonated with you and you're over 50 or closing in on 50 and you're thinking about reinventing your life, subscribe and join me here. These conversations will continue because, like I've told you guys before, I'm on this journey right with you. We are walking into our next. We are walking into what God has already planned for us. I love you with the love of God. Peace. Watch my faith and purpose show. Living life a brand new way. Reinventing life with Jay. The best is not behind me yet. I'm living my best chapter yet.